Hello, Victor. Hello, No. Welcome to the live. I am Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, and today is Transformation Tuesday. On Tuesdays, we talk about transformation and the importance of being intentional and focused and having a good plan so that you have the opportunity to move from where you are to where it is you would like to be. When we talk about transformation, we are simply talking about change, right? Good morning. I see in Beeman 23, Elizabeth. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. We are just getting started on, for me, this Tuesday morning. It's about a little bit after 7 a.m. And I like to start bright and early before I start my workday. I have my lives and then I jump into the day. So that's exactly what's up. Good morning, Bird. Alicia, is that you? Good morning, Redson. Good morning, Natalia. Welcome. Natalia, I saw your message last night. Um, I'm on a short week this week, and me and my family leave for Jamaica this weekend. My cousin is getting married, so it'll probably be after we get back from Jamaica before I have a chance for us to really get together. Good morning, Shay. Good morning, Victor. Lazy pot. That's how I feel this morning. I would love to just be a lazy pot and crawl back into bed, but I've got way too much to do. Good morning, David. I thought that was you, Alicia. Welcome, 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 everybody. We are going to get started, and today is Transformation Tuesday. As I've mentioned, I am excited to share with you guys what I found. I do a lot of research, read a lot, love looking at podcasts and different authors who write about some of the things that I enjoy talking about. Good morning, good afternoon, Carol. And I found this TED Talk last night that was absolutely amazing on transformation. And let me get you guys. I will drop the link to it. It's about 20 minutes long. So I'll drop the link to it so you all can watch it in its entirety. But I wanted to summarize for you her 3 steps to transform your life. She had a really, really powerful story. Before she was born, her mother was told that she would be stillborn. And so the baby was born. The doctor pronounced her dead, and left the room. But a nurse came in after and gave her the good old proverbial smack to grab the attention, get the heart pumping. And sure enough, the baby cried. The baby was in fact still alive. Her name is Lena Kay. And she did a TED talk back in 2017. It was like May 15th of 2017. And like I said, I will get you guys the link because it was really, really powerful when she talked about the steps that she had used to transform her life. There were lots of things because of her circumstances and the beginning of her how her life began, that she was told that there would be things that she wasn't able to do, and she defied every odd, and she had boiled down how she lived her life into 3 steps that she used to transform. She talked about a lady who had come to her because I believe she coaches and practices transformation in her country. And there was this one particular lady who had come to her who had been diagnosed with arthritis in her knee. And she was in pain all the time and had limitations in her movement because of the arthritis. And she encouraged the lady to not to focus on her bad knee, but to focus on the good knee, focus on the flexibility that she had, focus on what she was able to do, and to stay focused on that. And whenever she found herself, really struggling, to double down, to dig in and focus even deeper on her abilities. The lady was on medication, but she was still struggling. And I think they wanted to do knee surgery and things like that. But she came to her and they just started to work on her mindset. They started to work on her, how she thought, what she focused on in her thinking, and for her to really, really experience in her mind her life with both knees working like the good knee, just kind of phase out and lose focus on what she didn't want, but to really, really focus in on what she did. what she did, what she wanted to accomplish. And so that's her first step. It's focus plus attention equals creation. You have to focus on what you want, be extremely clear about what it is that you want, be specific about what you want, and then write it down. And then it's not just enough to want it, but you actually have to allow yourself to experience it. You have to get into focusing to the point of, I call it meditation, but to really tap in and experience, see your life the way you would like for it to be. And then once you've done that, start to operate from that point. Start to operate as if that's the way things really are. And she, after about 3 weeks, she said the lady started to um, tell her that she had less and less pain, that it didn't bother her so much. Eventually, she stopped taking her medication. And by the time she went back to the doctor for her checkup, the doctor said it looked as if her knee had been replaced, like she had actually had surgery. And I know this is woo woo for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, right. I'm going to think myself well. I'm going to think myself better. I'm going to think myself into the life that I would desire. The nice thing about this is you have nothing to lose. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Over here. So if you don't believe, try it anyway. Try focusing on what you have. Try being grateful for what's going well in your life versus being focused on what you don't have. And if nothing else, it'll lift your spirits. But if you really start to believe, if you really start to dig in, you can start to see a transformation at a level that's beyond what you may have thought was even possible. So, nothing to lose here. You're not paying for anything. You're not going to any particular seminar, joining any classes, signing up for anything. It's just you and your mentality. It's you and your mindset. And all I'm asking you to do is give it a try. Find something in your life that you would really like to be different, and then start to behave as if it's so. Start to walk in the power of the now and experiencing what you want right now, and watch your brain start to line up, and watch the universe start ex- to open up for you as if that thing has already happened. That's what it's about. I see Laura Lee. Good morning. Good morning, Kim. Thank you guys for joining. And so that was step number one. Focus plus attention equals creation. So what that's really saying is our brain is so powerful that we create our reality. And that may sound far-fetched for some, but just think about that. You are what you think. Your life is as good or bad as you think it is. There was a lady, I had an audio room on LinkedIn last night, and one of the ladies, Leah, who joined the audio room, when you looked at her picture, you just saw joy and happiness and this big bright smile. She really affected me. She talked about how a few years ago she had a very serious car accident, and how debilitating it had been, and it had included a brain injury. And because of that, she had to relearn things that we take for granted, the things that we learned as children: how to walk, how to eat, how to talk. A lot of those things, she didn't go into all of her specifics, but a lot of those things she had to relearn. And there she was, encouraging people, talking about the good things that had happened in her life. She's right. Good things did happen in her life. She survived the accident to start with. She was there. She was on the live with the rest of us. She was sharing her story. But she also could have said, my life is horrible. I can't walk the way I used to. I have financial setbacks because of this wreck. I wasn't able to work. I can't work like I used to. I can't move like I used to. I don't think as quickly as I used to. She could have focused on those things and categorized her life as sad, categorized her life as tragic, categorized her life as something less than what she was accustomed to. And she also would have been right, because that's what she would have focused on, and that would have been the reality that she created for herself. She made a choice. She made a powerful choice. She chose the light. She chose to focus on the things that she has versus the things that she didn't, starting with her life. starting with the ability to start over, starting with the option of learning and doing all over again. And in that learning and doing and her experience, she wanted to share it with other people. So she talked about all the different opportunities that had come her way. She'd done some public speaking. She'd been invited into all kinds of arenas because people wanted to hear her story. And she was encouraging other people who had suffered similar setbacks or something not nearly as tragic. For me, my ability to move has never really been challenged outside of a bum knee that I have myself. But I can get up and down my stairs. I can jump with my grandkids. I can do whatever it is that I really want to do. I may have to stop a little bit sooner or slow down if I go too far. But I'm able to do the things that I want to do. And she had such a powerful impact because I'm thinking if she can smile this big, if she can be this encouraging, if she can bring this message to the world through the tragedy that she experienced and find the gift in that, she's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. And she was the first time on lives, first time speaking on a live, but she felt something and just wanted to share her story, and so many people benefited from the fact that she did. It's a choice. We get to decide how we categorize our lives. We get to decide what portions of our lives we focus on. I can focus on the things that I don't have, and it's not hard to imagine the impact that that would have on me and how I would show up in the world, how I would treat the things that I do have, what I would be like in relationship and in conversation if all I did was focus on those things. And that brings us to step 2. Her second step was self mastery. And what she said about mastering yourself is, what do you believe about the things that you want, was the question that she asked. Life does not give us what we want. This is a direct quote from her. Life does not give us what we want, it gives us what we believe. Think about that. Life will not give you what you want, it will give you what you believe. So you get to challenge yourself every day, multiple times a day. What do I believe? What do I believe is true in this moment? What do I believe I'm capable of? What do I believe I deserve? This life that I keep talking about, the things that I say I really want, what do I believe about those? Do I believe that I'm deserving of them? Do I believe that I'm capable of them? If you don't expect them to show up, because life gives us what we believe. So that's why mindset is so important. We talked about mindset a lot yesterday, and we talk about it every Monday. If you can master the message that's playing in your head, you are so much closer to the life that you desire, so much closer than you could ever believe. Start by tapping in, gaining awareness of your own belief system. What do you believe? What's important to you? And then make sure that the goals that you set are aligned with what's important to you. They're aligned with your value system. You have to get in alignment with all of that and really believe that it can be as you would like for it to be. So let me see what else she said, because I did jot down some notes. So she said, allow yourself, oops, I'm jumping ahead. She said, life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you believe. That we are designed to win. This is powerful. We are designed to win, but programmed to lose. Think about that. Our programming is our mindset. Our programming is our belief system. Our programming is what tells you your value, what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't do. All that's playing in your head all day long. And a lot of us don't even realize that it's there. So, creating space for yourself to step back and actually hear your inner thoughts is a huge step in you getting to the life that you desire. Tap in, listen, don't judge it, don't push it down, don't try to pretend like it's not there. Sometimes what comes up is ugly, and we have a tendency to want to get rid of that stuff. but you need to hear it. You need to feel it. You need to experience it, because now you put yourself in the position of power. Now that you're aware that it's there, you're capable of doing something to change it. So listen to you. Listen to yourself honestly and without judgment, so that you put yourself in a position to do something different. If you want something different, you have to do something different. We've heard it forever. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result, right? That's been around for a long time. But it's just as relevant today as when the person brilliantly said it the first time, whoever that was. If you want different, you have to do different. Something has to change. And in my opinion, the most powerful change that can take place is between your ears. It's the mindset. Tapping into that, doing the work that's necessary so that you can get out of your own way and start moving towards the life that you really desire for yourself. It begins with you believing that you can have it and believing that you deserve it. Let's see what else Miss Leah said. Lena, let's see. The brain has the power to change things. That's when she gave the example of the lady with the arthritic knee. The work is to align your wants and your beliefs. That's back to what I said a few minutes ago, your value system. You have to be really clear about what's important to you. We've gotten messages about what should be our entire lives. From the time we were little people, we were cultivated and trained in what our parents felt like was best for us. And in most cases, what we got was good stuff, and it continues to serve us. But through life experiences, bad experiences, sometimes traumatic experiences, sometimes it's most of what we believe we formed in when we were very young, when our brains weren't even developed enough to make good rational decisions. But we've decided some things about ourselves. Maybe we had a parent that worked a lot, and so it was hard to get their attention. So life taught us that if it's you act up, any attention is better than no attention. So maybe you've gotten used to acting out to get the attention that you need. That's a learned behavior. That's a bad connection that you drew as a little person, trying to get the attention of those that were important to you. Someone said, have a good day. Have a good day. You're back. I love when Have a Good Day starts up, because every time I say their name, I'm being really nice to everybody, right? Have a Good Day says, it's easier said than done, but every day I'm working on altering negativity into thankfulness. That's a huge, powerful activity. If you can take the things that have been traumatic for you, take the things that frustrate you, take the things that you wish were different, and look for the gift in those things, find what you've gotten out of even your most difficult situations, you can start to find some gratitude in it. It starts to shift your focus about the whole thing. Laura Lee says transformation, manifestation. Carol said programmed into what to believe. Yeah, we get programmed into what to believe. That's what commercials are. Every ad that we see is trying to tell us what to believe, how we should look, what we should eat, what's the definition of beauty. All those things are programmed into us in little bitty sound bites all day, every day. And we have to realize that that's happening and then protect ourselves. And how do you protect yourself? By tapping into your own thoughts, tapping into what you're taking in, controlling what you're taking in. Someone on my live last night called it having a filtration system. I don't know how many of you guys have either on your fridge you've got a filter, or maybe you have one of those Brita pitchers, so you pour the water in straight out of the faucet and it goes through the filter, and the whole point of the filter is to grab as much of the bad stuff as possible. We know there's things in our water, there's things in our psyche, there's things all around us that are not good for us. And if you can allow your brain to become your filter, our brains are typically sponges. They take in and take in and take in. They're receiving messages all day long throughout the day, even when we're not aware. But if you can step back and start to transform that brain, transform that thinking into a filtration system instead of just a sponge, you'll do yourself a lot of good. What does a filtration system do? It allows the goodness to flow through, and it traps the things that would not serve you well. That's what Brita faucets do for pitchers do for our water, right? I'm saying we can do that for ourselves. We can let the things that serve us well filter through. Just take a bad situation. You've been through something traumatic. We'll use Leah's story as an example. She went through that terrible wreck. We're not going to pretend that it didn't happen. We're not going to try and rewrite history, but we're going to let the gifts of that flow through. She has new opportunities. She's able to walk again. She still has life, and she's able to be a public speaker and to do things that touch who knows how many people. She'll probably never know just how many because she doesn't know how many people she affected last night. She doesn't know the effect that she had on me, but she's filtered through. On top of that filter, what didn't slide through is all the negativity, all the coulda, woulda, shouldas, all the bad feelings of frustration because she can't move the way she used to. Or, whatever it is that's unearthing and making it, that could make life difficult. She decided to use her filtration system and let the goodness shine through, let it flow through, and let the other stuff just kind of get stuck in the filter and it gets thrown in the trash. Once the filter gets full, we either have a reusable one where we can clean all that gunk out and then replace it, or we have the ones that you just throw away and replace it with the new one. Either way, the gunk is gone, and good pure water that's healthy for us is what's left behind. Think of your brain that way. Be so tapped into what you're receiving that you choose what you're going to let through. I'm not advocating for a pretense. I'm not saying pretend that the world is all sunshine and rainbows, because hard stuff happens and our feelings are valid. We get to feel our feelings. It's important. When you're going through grief, strong one of the most strong, the strongest, one of the strongest emotions that we'll ever go through, and it's valid, and no one can tell you how long that lasts. But if you're to a point to where it's debilitating and you can't function, it's probably time to do something about that. It's probably time to get some help so that you can get back to the life that you still have. And many of us, I was in my 30s when I mourned the loss of my grandmother who died when I was 18. So, yeah, we can carry that stuff around forever. And now when I think about her, nothing sad really comes up. It's like I would love for her to know my kids and for her to be around. But I get to think now about the memories and what she poured into me. And a lot of that is what causes me to sit here day in and day out and have these conversations with you guys. She's with me every day because she poured so much of herself into me. And because I'm not still, deep in the grieving process, I've come through the other side of that. That's what I focus on more than anything. And we can do that with whatever life has thrown our way. The last of the three steps that Lena offered is take action, but wait. And I thought that really grabbed my attention. I was like, what does she mean by that? And I just published a workbook about a week. It came out on Saturday. It's a goal setting workbook. And the front of it is explaining a lot about uh, goals, what they mean. And the first thing I encourage people to do is, if you still struggle with self belief, self confidence, things like that, I have a QR code in the front of the book that'll take you to my online course that works with mindset. It's called the six six C's to transform self limiting beliefs. And I believe that if the mindset isn't right, that we'll set goals all day long, but the likelihood of us getting through them is very, very small. So you have to get the mindset right first. And I think that's what she's saying in this. You want to take action, but you have to make sure that you're in the right position, the right mindset to do so. So she talks about allowing yourself to experience your end goal first. and then act from that. So until you can see yourself successful in what it is that you're trying to accomplish, until you can see yourself having what it is that you desire so much, and not just see it, but can you sit down and close your eyes and actually allow yourself to get there and feel the emotions of that success, the emotions of that accomplishment? If so, then you're ready to start acting from that perspective. If not, there's some mindset work that you need to do first to help you get to the a place where you're really ready to goal set. So you want to take action, but you want to wait until you're emotionally, spiritually, physically, that you're ready. And so she says, allow yourself to experience the end goal and then act from that consciousness. And I said, imagine and then take action. Create the change that you want. You have to create the change in your mind first, and then you start to act upon it. She says, you focus, you align, and then you take action. We must change internally to see a change externally. You have to do something different. Something has to change if you truly want things to change. So, and that change begins on the inside. Have a good day says, is procrastination and inconsistency a mindset issue? I believe absolutely that those are mindset issues. Have a good day. When you procrastinate, typically because deep down inside you either don't believe that you can do it, or you don't believe that you deserve whatever the outcome of that those actions would be. You have to start to peel back and ask yourself why. Sometimes it's couched in, oh, I didn't really want to do that anyway. So maybe it's something that's difficult. So you don't believe that you can do it. So you kind of reframe it in your mind. But there's something going on internally when you procrastinate. And you have to tap in with yourself and do that self assessment to try and figure out what it really is. Because we can spend a lot of time trying to solve the wrong problem. If I want to lose weight, if I want to get in shape, then it's not a I need to go to the gym and work out issue. It's a I have to believe that I can do it, and I have to believe that I can deserve it. What I'm saying I want to do has to align with my personal values. And if I've got all that working for me, then the things that I want to happen will happen because I'll take the action. That's the final step in any plan is action. You plan, you adjust, you dream, you marinate on what it is that you really want, but until you take action, it's just a dream. And it's important to have that dream. It's important to tap in and get that focus, but it will only go as far as your actions align with that dream. So every day when you start your day, it's a good idea to have two or three things written down that you're going to accomplish that day. And there should be two or three. There's lots of things that we can do. And you guys have probably heard me say this so much that you'll roll your eyes. But there's a huge difference in being busy and being productive. When you're busy, you're doing a lot of stuff. It's hard to find people who are not doing lots of stuff. We're busy all the time. But when you're productive, you're doing the right things at the right time to accomplish what it is that you set out as goals for yourself. So you have to evaluate that busyness on a regular basis. Why am I doing this? Are these activities moving me towards my goals or not? And it would be in your best interest every day to start your day after you've gone through your gratitude, what you're grateful for today, because that sets your mindset in the right place. After you've done your self care, grab your list and write down the two or three things that you're going to do today that will move you towards those goals. And then do them. You have to have the action, you have to do them. And then tomorrow, repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. For every tomorrow, you're intentional now. You are making it a point. You might not be able to work on your particular goals all day, every day. We have jobs, we have families, we have all kinds of things that are vying for our attention. But if there's something, a big change that you want in your life, if there's something that you really want to accomplish, give yourself that time to work on it. Two or three things. Maybe you're having a really busy week. You're having a short week like I am because we've got to get packed and do all the stuff to get on a plane soon. So maybe it's only one thing. But one thing is better than nothing. If you do one thing a day at the end of your work week, you've done five things that moves you closer to your goal. So you're so much closer this week than you were last week. So break it down in the bite-sized pieces. Know what you're going to do each day that's going to move you where it is you're trying to go. And look back at your life in a month, 3 months, a year, and see how much closer you are. See how far you've come. And if you need encouragement to even believe that you can, look back at your life now. Have you ever heard the saying, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm not where I was? You're not where you were. You've made progress. Every once in a while, you need to stop and pat yourself on the back and say, good job. My life told me that I would never do this, but I've done it and so much more. Those are the conversations you need to have with yourself so that you encourage yourself. Someone said to me last night how hard it, or yesterday, that it's really hard for them to encourage themselves. Yeah, we're not taught to speak that highly of ourselves. We want other people to recognize what we're doing and for those compliments to come from them. But what happens when they don't come? If your encouragement is so externally focused, what happens when the cheerleaders are not there? What happens when the support system goes away? You have to know within you who you are, how valuable you are, what you bring to the table, whatever table it is. If you're showing up into a room, you need to know that the atmosphere just changed. That experience is better because you showed up. You need to feel like that. And if you don't, there's some mindset work. Take my course. Transform. We want to transform that inner critic. If you guys are interested in any of the courses or the workbook that I have on, I actually have to show y'all this. It just can't. Well, this is not the final version, but it looks like this. It's not that it's super big, but it's packed with information. It'll take you through my whole program. I summarize that in the beginning, and then I start to really teach about what goals are and how you write good goals. And then I give you the space to start with your dreams, break those down into goals until you get all the way down to those daily activities that I'm talking about, where you have a plan for yourself for every day that's moving you towards your goals, what's important to you. If you're interested in any of that, you DM me, shoot me your or shoot me your email, and I'll give you some links and tell you how you can check it out. Um, but that's it, guys. I wanted to talk to you about. I was so excited to share when I read this. When I listened to this TED Talk, three things, 3 steps to transform your life by Lena K. Step one: focus plus attention equals creation. If you focus on what you don't have, you're going to create more of that. If you focus on what you do have, you get busy creating more of the things that you want. Self mastery. You have to tap in to you and know yourself down to your innermost thoughts. Because once you do that, once you have that connection, you're in the driver's seat. You can reform, reframe, rewrite those thoughts so that they serve you instead of you getting in your own way. And then the last one is take action, but wait. You have to get to that step of action. But before you start acting, make sure that the mindset is right. Make sure that the belief systems are right. Make sure that your goals are aligned with your values. And then you're ready to launch. You are absolutely ready to take the steps necessary to have the life that you desire. All right, it is time for me to get into the office and get the workday started. I am so appreciative to each one of you for tapping in with me today and sharing your comments and emojis. Jay, you are so welcome. I didn't see you there before. So thank you guys for being here. We're going to wrap it up for today. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. On Wednesdays is Wake Up Wednesday, and we talk about being intentional, how having that intentional life and really breaking down what it is you want will increase your likelihood of achieving it. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. You're welcome, Carol. Thanks, Laura Lee, for joining. I'm so happy to see all you guys here, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Happy Tuesday. You enjoy the rest of your day too, Carol.